Hello everybody, welcome to episode 74 of Play Like a WAP Pro. Today I'm going to be doing another live replay or live commentary in the mouse. If you want to know all the stuff I usually go over in the garage like field mods and equipment, then go watch my last episode in the mouse, episode 68, at least the beginning of the video. But I want to do the mouse some justice because the last live commentary didn't go that well in the mouse, so let's play it again. And I'm going to attempt what I wanted to do in the first video, which was to show you the potential of the mouse's armor. And I actually had a warm-up game where I blocked 8k damage and they literally had to HE me to death. I took 13 hits from splash damage, and I think around 8 of those were from an artillery, and that's just how I died. They actually only penned me for like 1200 damage. It was all HE. It was kind of hilarious. But here we've got a tier 9 matchup, which is excellent, and their tier 10 heavy tanks aren't something I have to be too worried about because they don't have much health and I can kind of just outtrade them. And then the VZ has pretty bad pen. And the 5A can only pen me with heat. And I don't know, he's not like a chieftain player, so I'm just not too scared of him. If he gets close to me, then I'll just absolutely kill him. If he stays at distance, then he'll be fine. But there aren't too many hull down locations on this map that he can make use of to outtrade me. So I usually go to the valley actually on this map. And I'm actually still thinking about it, but I think it's better for me to go city if I'm playing seriously. Because in the valley, since it's like slow ground, there's a chance that I just will go all the way around, and even if nothing stops me, which most likely nothing could, I might not get to the damage by the time the enemy caps or something, and I just really don't want that to happen, because this is encounter, keep in mind. So a lot of the time on this map I don't actually take the extremely long way. I just take a slightly shorter path. I definitely should have gone a little bit longer since I'm in a mouse, but since I'm in tier 9 matchmaking, there's no artillery, and they have no light tanks, except for the Barask, which is like a pseudo light. I wasn't too worried about getting lit, and even if I did, I can just angle in the open and back up and get out of spotting range. So I don't want to go in the low ground here through this gap because this 5A is playing this corner. Instead, what I want to do is take this pathing so that I'm safe from the VZ where the corner where the VZ was, and I can just get up to the church and start shooting down on the enemies. Now I would go here and shoot down on the 5A, but he can actually pen me, so I'd rather just go around the left side of this building and then push from this angle, because I might be able to just avoid him altogether and just start farming the people on this corner, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The 5A backs off. Well, I was actually exposed to that guy, I didn't realize. Here I'm going to over angle my lower plate. I tracked that guy. You saw he was tracked. I know he's going to use this kit. I might as well wait for his track and go for a tracking shot. I mean, you don't have to, but it just wasn't a bad idea, so I went for it. Here I'm going to angle my turret like this and my hull roughly like this. This is an optimal angle roughly. He has almost no chance of penning me at this angle, unless he aims really well. And in between my shots, this is the angle I'm just going to hold. I'm worried about the Sturv penning me, so I'm angling a little bit more towards them. They penned me 3 times, but they actually bounced 1600 as well. And that's just because they're at kind of an awkward angle for me to angle towards all 3 of them. There's a pretty good chance that at least some of them are going to pen me. I want to over angle my lower plate towards this VZ. I think I didn't angle it quite enough and he actually pens me. But he bounces the second one. Now he's on reload, so I can kind of push towards him. I just want to stay safe from this guy if possible. He's going to be coming off reload in about 4 seconds. So I'm going to be ready to pull back. I don't want to risk getting penned by him because I'm only 1300 HP. There I hit that guy's engine deck because that was my only real chance of penning him besides this. Oh, this tank doesn't even have a corner plate. That was the only chance I would have of penning him from that angle, I think. Maybe I could pen the top of his turret, I'm not sure, but... Oh, and they have 2 tier 8s who are full health drowning. Man, we love that. We just absolutely love that. That is fantastic. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen and keep driving. This is where the mouse really sucks, when you just are trying to chase down damage and you just can't get to it in time. The only nice thing about the mouse in late game is that you can kind of cut corners with the pathing you take, because you can kind of just drive directly at enemies a lot of the time instead of having to be all sneaky about it. So that can kind of cut down on your travel time at the end of the game when you're trying to chase down damage, but yeah, it does suck in these kind of situations, which, you know, if they had 2 tanks left alive still, I could possibly get some damage here, because they'd probably be playing that corner, but instead I'm gonna get nothing. And it's 15-1, and we still have 3/4 of our HP at the end of the game. I mean, there wasn't too much that the enemies could really do unless they somehow managed to pen all their shots, but as you can see, they have a lot. I think some of the shells probably disappeared, but they have a bounce off the turret. I think this one only penned because it kind of hit like the corner of my upper plate, but which is kind of lucky for them, but you can see there's 2 bounces off my lower plate at least. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they under-angle their mouse, angle it like this. You want to angle it like this a lot of the time. And that way they don't know where to aim. They don't know whether to aim at your side or your lower plate, because they're about equal thickness at that angle. And you want to do the same with your turret. A lot of people under-angle their turret, so they're giving them shots on the turret cheeks of the mouse, when if you just angled your turret a little bit more, or even a decent amount more, it would be far harder for them to penetrate you. You want to angle in such a way that you're getting penned half the time in the side and half the time in the front for both the turret and the hull. If you're doing that, then you're angling the mouse very well. If you're getting penned in the front constantly, which is the more common case compared to always getting pinned in the side, that means that you are under-angling your mouse, and you need to angle it more when you're in the open. When you're side scraping, obviously, you don't want to over-angle your side, or your turret. Those are an exception, but when you're completely in the open to the enemy, that's what you need to do. There are some niche cases where that isn't what you want to do. For example, if you angle so that your side and front are equally strong, then something like a Jagdpanzer E100 can shoot either, and he'll just auto-pen both of them. So you want to kind of make a shot trap where at least part of your hull is something that he can't penetrate easily when it comes to very high pen tanks. So here we have a full tier 10 game. They got 5 TDs, although 3 of them are a V4 platoon, so that's something to watch out for. I'm going to go to this corner, not necessarily because it's the better place to be. I actually prefer the north usually, but because going to the north would take so long that it's just better for me to take my loss and go this way instead. As dumb as it sounds, it is actually possible to drive up the middle in a mouse, but I probably wouldn't do it unless I was in like a tier 8 game or I noticed something peculiar about their lineup. In this matchup, going through middle is a terrible idea, I think. One thing that happens a lot in the mouse, if you're pushing one side of a map, is your team will just already have like 8 tanks there, and you can tell that they're just going to win it. And sometimes what you can do is just cut across and just... That way, because if you just follow your team when they're just going to steamroll it anyways, there isn't actually really... You're just wasting your time, basically. You might as well cut across if your team's going to steamroll it anyway. Now here I should have gone fully around, to be honest, but I'm going to cut it close and just hope that I don't get lit here. If I don't get lit, I'm going to immediately push into this Carol, because I have 3,500 HP, and I have a good amount of teammates behind me. If I just pressure this guy, my team will come forward as well, and then we'll be able to push this. And if I take a ton of damage for this, I don't really care. I don't want to be stuck here against this guy forever. I just want to go, you know what I mean? So here I get lit. The Yag is a threat. There's a 1-2-1 as well. The 1-2-1 complicates things. I think I'm actually going to push the Caro head on. Because my team hasn't really aggressed this yet. They've done 0 damage to him. Actually, now that he's running though, I won't be in a crossfire if I come down here. So I'm going to push this now. But previously, if I would have pushed this, I would have been in a crossfire. Now I want to angle my turret and hull as I come around this corner in case they're aimed at me. This corner here against the SJB. And I immediately angle my turret backwards as I do this. And you'll notice they probably aimed for my lower plate, but they just hit my track because it's a smaller target. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to angle my lower plate. Now keep in mind they are below me, so I have to angle my lower plate even more than you might think in order to bounce them. Alright, I'm gonna push in. Because the bat isn't really a threat to me, I feel. And the FE is on reload. I would ram this guy, but I think he's just going to be able to dodge me. If he just sits there, though, then I will. But I don't want to overcommit either, because that is 2 tier 10 mediums, so I need to kind of respect their DPM. Unless my team comes in with me, it's not worthwhile to go in fully against 2 tanks. But my team did come in, so it didn't really matter. Now here's one of those situations where I think I'm probably going to cut across. Except maybe not, because if I cut across like this, as you can see, the enemy is going to take this hill, and then I'll be in a crossfire from here and here. And the mouse is good at dealing with crossfires because you can angle towards a lot of enemies at once. But if they're at like a 90-degree angle to you, it's going to be hard, especially when they're all tier 10s. So I'm actually going to approach the cap for more of this kind of angle so that I'm angled towards this and this at the same time. The enemies have already taken the middle, so I'm actually going to turn. Hopefully I pen this. I missed completely. I need to angle towards the I-7. My turret was a little bit over-angled. I want to... Oh, this is another thing that's good to talk about. When there's 2 enemies aimed at you, and you're in a box tank that like not a pike nose or something, most of the time it's best just to angle towards one of the tanks if they both can easily pen you. I'm gonna angle like this to bounce the I-7 because this guy is dead now, so I don't have to angle towards there. I think I just kind of have to chill for now because I can't really push into this without getting crossfired. That really sucks that I bounced that. I'm actually gonna hide. This 4K5 kind of needs to die. So I'm going to load HE and go for an angle on him. Nice. Him being dead is huge. I'm going to angle towards the 268 over here. Maybe he could have waited for that shot. He didn't realize the terrain went up. I'm getting really annoyed of this already. Bro, you cannot be serious. That is so unlucky. At least I get all the tracking for it, but I already had some spotting, so... It's getting to the point where they have fewer tanks over here. Like I said, this is my original plan. I want to go like that so that I can angle towards the middle and from over here kind of at the same time. It won't be a perfect angle, but it could work. And so when you're going across an open field, sometimes I like to use what's called the wiggle, and it's where you go in like a V pattern to cross instead of just driving side on. Like if you want to get across a enemy's path horizontally, or perpendicular I should say, you can do the V path strategy. Did that STB just poke that and not get lit? That's kind of crazy. I'd like to hit this IS-7. I'm kind of covered by the FE, but it's just kind of risky. I'm going to over-angle my ass, so it's hard for him to pen it. I don't know if he hit my ass or not, but... I'm now in a position, though, where I could potentially just side scrape him. He can't pen my turret here if he hits it perfectly, but I'm gonna risk it, even though I'm I'm a 2-shot for him. Because if I go down to a 1-shot, I can always hide, and also there's only 3 minutes left, and there's only 2 enemies, so it's a good idea to try to be aggressive in this situation, or else we'll just draw the game. If I have to, I'll cap here, which I almost never, ever, ever do. But if we can't find the last 2, we're all pretty slow, I'll just cap it out. Hopefully our minnow spots the middle, so if the V4 is still there, we can shoot him. Now we're not lit, which tells us the V4 is not in some obvious bushes here. And another thing to note is I am 2-shot for the enemies, so I don't have to worry about going down instantly. If I have to, I can just take a hit and then shoot them. Yo, maybe we'll get an Invaders medal. Wouldn't that be poggers? So I don't think this guy is in this area at all, so I'm actually gonna aim over here. This guy is side onto us, which is great. I'm just gonna put cap pressure on them. I'm gonna stay on the cap unless it's obvious that we're gonna kill the remaining tank. This guy's in the V4 platoon. He should be doing something. I'm almost thinking he went all the way around like this, but I don't really know. I'm just gonna aim over here because that's where my team is going. Or he could be up there, I guess, as well. Although I think there might have been a time when I was spotted and they opened for him, and I don't think he shot me, so I could be wrong about that though. We're gonna kill him, so I'm gonna drive off. Actually, I'm gonna stay on. Give me some cap points, brother. Alright, we got 4.3k damage, 2.8k blocked, and 1700 spotting. Numbers wise, this wasn't a crazy game, but I think there were a lot of situations where I was kind of glad I was in a mouse. The thing that made me wish I wasn't in a mouse in this game is when crossing between 2 areas when you're in a crossfire. It's just kind of hard to do. You have a lot of HP, so you can afford to do it sometimes anyways, even if they can pen you, but when you're kind of surrounded, the mobility is really nice to just get out of there. But sometimes you're just stuck in the open with the mouse, and the best you can do is just angle and pray that they are not good enough to pen you. Let's go for another game. So far we've only got 3k average blocked, and I think when I was marking the mouse I had like 3.5k average, so we can still do better. Alright, so we get Mannerheim Line, which is a good map for the mouse, I think. Especially from this side. From the other side, it's hard to hide your turret and your lower plate. But from this side, you can play this rock here, which will do both. You can side scrape off it with your turret, and your hull will be mostly covered as well. Your lower plate especially. We get tier 9 as well. There is one arty, so since I'm planning on most likely playing this rock, that is something to keep in mind. I want to hug the rock between my reloads if possible. But it is only a 2-1-2A, so he's not going to be doing huge damage to us or anything. And I don't know. I have a med kit for a reason. So if I have a chance to do a free shot, I'm not going to be scared of arty. Now I am paying attention to what my teammates are doing. Another thing, this is kind of another example of the wiggle tactic. I'm perpendicular to an enemy, so I just kind of take this pathing. There's the arty. Nothing I can really do about that, but the fact I get lit tells me that there's somebody most likely in this bush right here. I'm actually thinking about poking it and just shooting it. Although it just got blinded, but I could also blind the perch. And one of the reasons why I'm not in too much of a hurry to go south is because we don't have that many tanks there yet. The fact that not too many enemies have been let down here as well, though, is kind of reassuring to me that I can still contest the south. And this is another situation. Oh, I'm saying another, but I was thinking about this thing during my warm-up game. I actually might have never introduced this stuff. I'm not sure. If you didn't know about the wiggle tactic, that's what it is. Going in a V shape in the open. I think I talked about that. I can't even remember what the last battle was. But another thing I talked about in my warm-up game is approaching an angle from a wide perspective, because then you can angle on the move much better. It's kind of hard to describe. But for example, if I was here and I crossed like this, it would be much harder to angle towards all the enemies. If I just do it from further back, it's much easier. Oh, that was a bad shot. I need to angle towards the tortoise. He mostly has a shot on my turret, so that's what I'm most worried about angling. He still hasn't shot. He's holding his shot for my turret. So I don't really want to take a shot from him, but I will if I have to, because he has a chance of bouncing regardless. Now I'm going to back up so these guys don't have an easy shot on me. And I'm still trying to hide my lower plate on this small ridge here. And I'm okay with trading 1-for-1 with the tortoise, because most of the time he's going to bounce anyways. Like that. And the fact he's even taking this fight makes me think he's probably not a great player, which also helps. This is another situation I could drive across like this. Instead, I'm going to back up and come from a wider angle so that these guys can't pen me as easily. But keep in mind, we are up 6,000 HP. So I need to start trading away my HP, or I'm not going to get any damage this game. So I don't really need to worry too much about angling right now. I just need to be focused on driving forward and getting damage. Because we're clearly winning this game. It's very unlikely that I'll die at this point, even though I could potentially get penned by the 4K5. I want to angle towards the I-7 now because this guy's on the reload. As you can see, he bounces me because I angled decently. Okay, how is this guy still alive? That's what I'm wondering. The fuck are you doing, team? I'm actually one shot now because of that. That actually really pisses me off. I need to get out of the open. This 4K5 can finish me off if he has HE. I wasn't angling my lower plate quite enough against this guy, but it's because the 4K5 could potentially hit me, so I had to get out of there quick. I'm a one-shot to everything now, which really fucking sucks. I don't know how my team has done 0 damage to that VK while he's poking, as well as come on, Yag. Should have aimed that better as well, though. Okay, at least we get the kill. That's huge. I'm worried about the Artie is the main thing. But I feel like I don't have much choice except to go in the open right now. I'm hoping the VK doesn't even spot me. Like he just doesn't poke. So I'm gonna try to avoid getting lit by him, but this 4K5 can light me as well. I'm hoping he has AP loaded and not HE so that he could just bounce me. Because if he has HE, then I'm almost certainly gonna die. I'm worried about the 4K poking. I kinda wanna get this rock between me and him, but it's kinda risky. I'm gonna start going behind this guy. I want to start angling towards him because he's gonna try to shoot me. He has an X. Yeah, I'm dead already. We love World of Tanks. There's just an I-7 right here. There's 4 guys here and they're all looking this way. Like, come on, man. Holy shit. I got penned like, I took like 1800 damage because of that. Because I couldn't angle towards the VK and the 4K5 penned me with AP. It's really annoying. I guess I should pause the recording and wait for this to be over. But since we didn't get any blind or anything, I can talk about what we got this game. 3,500 damage, 4,600 blocked. If you look at what actually penned us, the only thing that hit us was Artie, a VK, Okay, the I7 penned us once, but I mean that's like 500 damage. The only thing that penned us really damaged us was a VK and a 4K5, and the VK has 350 heat pen, so the mouse is pretty much butter. If you do the strategy where you make your lower plate and upper plate the same thickness as your side armor, he can still pen you pretty easily in the turret, for example. Like even at an angle like this, he can pen your turret, so it's more difficult to angle against those. Against the VK 7201, if you're completely in the open, you probably have to incorporate some wiggling in with it, so that if he aims for your lower plate, then he has a chance of hitting your track. Because even if your lower plate is well angled, since his penetration is so extremely high, there's a good chance he's still gonna pen it. Okay, I didn't cut the recording because I had some stuff to talk about, so it worked out. Again, not a very good game. I didn't aim extremely well, but like I said, it was one of those situations where you're losing or you're winning the game hard and you can't just get stuck there and do nothing. You have to push forward and try to make things work. And unfortunately, I just got cucked by this IS-7. Well, more so by my teammates who just didn't shoot him. Most likely what I should have done is just ignore the IS-7 and angle towards the 183 and the VK and just pretended he wasn't there. Because eventually my team will notice that he's there and then turn around and shoot him, or I can even drive around the corner so that he doesn't have shots on me if he somehow gets behind me. So yeah, that's definitely what I should have done in that situation instead of going for the kill on him. I guess I was probably just too greedy for the damage. But at least I got to showcase a little bit of angling in that video. Or in that replay, I should say. Game. Alright, so we get a tier 9 matchup. They have a lot of tier 10 heavies, but only one tier 10 medium, which is what I'm really concerned with. They do have 2 artillery. If they had no artillery, I would probably push down the 1-2 line from a wide angle once again, instead of coming close where I have to turn at a sharp angle. I come from a wide angle. Well, I probably would play out here anyway, but even then, it kind of, well, doesn't really work in that situation, but I probably would come from a wide angle and push like this and shoot up at guys here until they die and then push through. But 2 already is just a little bit too much for me to handle, so I'm gonna go middle instead. I can always later push across here if I really want to. I just have to be careful of people who are playing ramp, people who are on hill, and people who are playing on the outside here. That's pretty much it for the most part. Starting to lose my voice. As you can see, a ton of their tanks came down the middle, which really makes me wish that I went 1-2, but if this VZ just plays here, then it doesn't really work, so unless I manage to get in here and just push up at him. So now I'm getting ready to pre-aim over here, which is sometimes enemies will overexpose here and you can get a shot. Unfortunately I miss. Another place you want to pre-aim as you come middle is right there, obviously, if they try to take the hill. This is another situation. They do have 2 arties, so I'm going to kind of bait for a second, try to get unlit, or at least have arty shoot at someone else before I go forward. But what I kind of want to do is approach from a wider angle, so that if this VZ pokes, I can quickly angle towards him. If I just drive straight across, it might not work out so well, because a VZ will do 1,000 damage to me. I don't think I can actually go in, that is the problem. Because there's 2 RD, there's a CS, a VZ, and a Skoda T50 all there. It's really difficult. I want to push the CS back if possible before I go. Unfortunately, the RD is still aiming at us even when we're around a corner. He pens my lower plate. That was a little bit... That wasn't a guaranteed pen by any means. Yeah, I just need to chill for now. We do have the hill, so the enemies can't push around, so we're still not like in a losing position by any means. Dude, this guy's 3D skin is trolling me. I thought that was his gun, so I didn't realize I could aim through it. I'm just gonna pre-aim this guy now. I can pen his turret, it's just not guaranteed. I'm gonna over-angle so that he has no chance of penning me, really. I'm almost thinking of HEing him, because our arty will eventually hit him as well. And so if he's really low, then... Okay, we just pen him anyway, that's great. Him being dead is nice, but it still doesn't remove the core problem of there being a VZ and these guys on the corner. I'm gonna take this opportunity to cross. I'm gonna have to angle towards this VZ if he... Bro, they're trying to troll me, I swear. They keep fucking poking as soon as I try to go, man. It's so annoying. Like, the CS just comes out of nowhere, takes a shot from our Rhino because he's dumb. Whatever. I'm just not even gonna attempt to push across anymore because we lost the 9-0. So it's not even possible anymore. I'll get shot in the ass. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pen that IS-7, so there's no point in even trying. I think what I'm gonna actually... Never mind. I'm gonna chill here for a second, but I'm thinking about going down 1-2 line. Now the main problem with that is they have 2 arty. Oh, I thought that was an IS-3. I'm actually tripping today. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Don't have a penning shot. I'm just gonna HE him. This guy is the main problem. I was hoping our arty would actually be like doing something this game, but it appears that he isn't. What I'm trying to do right here is loop an HE shell over the corner to hit this guy, but the amount that the shell arcs is quite low, so it doesn't really work. It's not really gonna give you that much better of a shot. I'm just gonna keep HEing him. I do have 15 HE shells, which means I could do like 500 damage to him, but it's mostly just to deter him from poking, and I'm just waiting for our arty to get him, and then the chip damage will start getting to him, and it'll start getting low. I don't want to get penned by him though, because if I try to shoot him, I'm only going to get like 30 damage out of it, so the risk versus reward is very good for him, because he could potentially do 500 damage, even if it's hard to pen me. Okay, I'm going to reload APCR. This guy is over poked. Oh, I thought he was facing the other way, so I get hit for it. That's great. I can't do that again because we just lost the hill, so now their hill can farm me if I try that again, potentially. IS-7 is pushing up. My teammate is blocking me. Hopefully my teammate pens him because he really needs to die. Don't block me, man. Oh my fucking god, thank you. Miss. This guy needs to die. I have shots on this Udez on the corner, but I wanted to focus on the IS-7 first. The hill is dead, so I don't need to worry about that, which means I can actually contest the side again. I'm gonna overpeak for this Udez. There he is. He bounces us, which is great. It is a tier 9 Udez. I don't think it has great pen. I should be able to get in one more shot. I'm gonna wait for him to turn sideways because I get a better shot, and I managed to miss it. That's great. I'm gonna angle as I reload for a second. Okay, at least we get the EBR. The game is over. The enemy just all suicided in for no reason, which is always great. And I'm gonna come around this corner, and I guarantee you that Artie's gonna shoot at me instead of my teammates. This guy's just gonna hide himself from me. At least he exposed the side turret. And he's -2, so I can turn side onto him, no problem. Thank you for exposing yourself to me, I really appreciate it. I'm no longer in danger of dying. I'm just gonna push in and try to get to their arty first, because I don't think I'm gonna get to either of these guys first. If I actually stopped and aimed that, I think there was a chance I would have been able to hit it, but yeah, this guy I'm not gonna get to in time. My only chance to get damage is to go for the arty. This is another game where the mouse kind of sucks because even though I can hold that position forever, I can't oh, I fired right as he... That sucks. I think he's behind the rock, which is not great. Oh, he's not. Oh, we even get the kill for full damage. It's not great because if I was in like a fast heavy, I would have been able to cross right away and get here before the VZ arrived. But once that VZ arrived, it was very hard for me to cross without taking just a ton of damage from these hull down guys here, the VZ, and then 2 artillery. So I was just stuck there. And unfortunately, we didn't start losing, which is where the mouse would have shined. Instead, we started winning, which is the absolute worst case scenario for me because I just sat there unable to get involved in the game for like 5 minutes. And then I don't even get a payoff for doing that. I get no payoff because suddenly all of the enemies just die instantly. And then I have to go push them and I'm too slow to get all the cleanup, you know what I mean? But we did technically get 5 kills. 2700 damage is not good. 1400 spotting though kind of helps compensate a little bit, but as you can see, not a very good game. We just didn't have great shots available, to be honest. I had to resort to shooting HE at an IS-7's turret. That's how bad the shots were that game. Really was not great. A 9-minute game on Cliff, and we only get like 2800 damage. Not great. And for that reason, I'm gonna do another battle. Our session so far is not very good at all. At least I got to give a few more tips about how to angle on the mouse though. Remember, the V strategy, what did I call it before? The wiggle strategy. Where you go, instead of driving perpendicular into somebody's shots when you're trying to cross a gap, you just do a V wiggle back and forth so that you're angled at almost all times. The only time they can pen you easily is when you're between a wiggle. So you have to go like drive forward like this, then you turn, and once you turn halfway, your lower plate is aimed directly at them, and then you turn the rest of the way. But it's hard for the enemies to time that. And a lot of the time they'll already have been baited into firing while you were actually angled. This is some more pretty terrible matchmaking for this tank because there's double artillery. Even though it's tier 9, they don't even really have any heavies I can farm. They have 0 tier 9 or tier 8 heavies. So the only thing I'm going to be fighting is artillery and tier 10 heavy tanks. And then Leos. So even though this might look like okay matchmaking, it's actually complete garbage. I'm not going to go to C1 because... You know what? Fuck it. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at the map and we have almost nothing going to the west, which I actually kind of like. I'm just gonna sit back on this corner and wait for them to push through. This is something you can sometimes do on this map when you're in a tank, like a sniper tank or a tank that can hold. If your team sends nothing to D1, but they send at least 1 tank, you can just sit on this corner where the Char Futur is and shoot them as they come over. And this way I'm also safe from arty, at least for the beginning of the game. Later on they might be annoying, but if I can get the enemies to get close to me and I can just hold on a corner, it's great for me. Now what I'm doing is shooting down these trees. I kind of want to wait for the second tree though, because they could get spotted at C1 right now. I didn't really take too much care in making sure those fell perfectly, but this is actually kind of ideal the way this tree fell. I'm hoping they send at least some tanks this way so that I can farm them. I'm gonna keep this bush double bushed because this guy is already spotting it. There's no reason for me to poke as well. I'm starting to think they sent nothing over here though, which is really annoying because this would have been perfect. Like this guy's completely in the open just blind firing. But they still have an unlit VZ and 60 TP and 2 Leos, so I'm just gonna wait a second just to see if they get lit or not. Because if they just pop up here suddenly, it's not good for me. Because then I'll have to stop at one of these rocks as I push forward, and I'll just be getting hammered by Artie the whole time. All right, there's a VZ. They are pushing in, which is good. Probably shouldn't have taken that shot. It was kind of reckless. I don't really care about the T55A. I'm just gonna over angle and he won't be able to pen me. I just care about getting a second shot onto this VZ, and potentially killing him would be great. He's gonna try to get behind me. Thankfully he gets tracked. And I think we are winning this flank if I just... Nope, they got a Leo here. I can't do that yet. I'll get flanked by a Leo, which is not good. I bounced that shot. Incredible. Do not ask me how, because I could not give you an answer. Track him. I want to angle for him in case he has one more shot. I don't think he does, but... If this Leo runs away, then I can push up. But I kind of want to wait a second just so that the Artie doesn't shoot me as soon as I get lit. They have a Conway over there as well. I kind of want to get to this rock here and then just spot for my team. But we're down HP, so I don't think I should. Should just wait here. Because we could... I can't see the HP over here. If we're losing over there somehow, then I want to stay in my base because I don't want to push out this way and then just get flanked later. I'm gonna get already safe now because I have no chance of getting shots on these guys quite yet anyway, so I might as well avoid damage. And yeah, we don't have the advantage on this flank because they killed some of my teammates, so... I don't really know how to pen this tank or if it's easy to pen or not. I don't really want to get spotted by him either if possible because the artillery can shoot me. What I'm hoping is going to happen is the 55A will come in close. Or anyone really at all. But I don't think their Leos are going to. Yep, the 55A came in close. I'm looking at the minimap. One artillery has fired. That means I'm going to push forward on this guy and hope that he tries to trade with me. I'm immediately angling my turret. I just want to trade 1-for-1 with him. And hopefully I'll bounce him some shots as well. Gotta keep angled towards this guy if possible. He overexposes. There's the artillery. It's okay though. They're both tier 9 artillery. I'm gonna use my med kit because I want to fight this guy before the 12 seconds are up and I need my loading skills. This guy shoots my track because I over angle a little bit. Could have over angled even more actually. I'm gonna go for him directly. I'm gonna try to not let him get my side, but also he's gonna get it, so I might as well just turn this way. I missed completely because I'm bad. Can you please get him before he reloads? Thank you. That was a throw by me. I want to get unstunned before I go in the open because I don't want to. I want to be able to turn towards opponents quickly if I get lit. Their Leos have relocated, which is the biggest threat for me. If the Leo was back here or something, I couldn't do this. But since they're not, I can afford to keep pushing forward. I'm hoping this Conway will overpeak me to try to get a penning angle. I would push right down after them, but I'm worried that the RU is going to get out and then get above me up here, which is exactly what happened. I don't know how he got out so easily, but now I'm actually just going to back up and go back to base because taking up here doesn't really give me anything. If all of my teammates die here, I'm just going to be stuck in the open for artillery, and this thing is so large that I can get shot from angles from like out here and stuff while also getting shot from over here, and I can't really hide from both. If I play back in this corner, then I have a chance to at least hold for a while, but it's really not looking good right now. The tanks that they have left can pen me pretty easily. And the reason why I'm backing up is because I don't want something to pop up in front of me, and this thing's reverse speed relative to its top speed is not too bad. Some tanks have great forward speed but terrible reverse speed, like the Grill 15 for example. Now that I'm kind of far away enough from the enemies though, I'm going to turn and so that I can go faster, and plus I'm going to need my front pointed this way eventually because they're going to push across into us. I can't fathom just like how retarded this game is. Nice double fucking stunned. That is just fan fucking goddamn tastic. And he pens me. I fucking hate this game, man. Like, this is so retarded and fucking stupid. Fuck this game. Just kill me, man. God, I fucking love this game, bro. Didn't even get off my last shot even though I clicked. This game is so fun! Fuck! I hate this game. Fuck this stupid game. I should have gotten like fucking 4K, not 4K, but like, I should have gotten 2,000 more damage there and I got 0. Fucking 0. Such a goddamn joke, man. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, technically I should have aimed slightly lower on the Leo, and the second shot on the Leo wasn't great, but I don't fucking care. I got bad RNG. That's the main reason I missed. It wasn't because I aimed it terrible, it's because I got fucking unlucky for the most part. Alright, I'm doing one more. I have to get a fucking decent ass game in the mouse. Like, what is this dog shit fucking double RD cancer every single game? Give me something playable for fuck's sake, Wargaming. Thank you, Jesus. Alright, so we get Encounter on Himmelsdorf. Encounter is quite different from Standard on Himmels because way more enemies go up the hill. And so I basically see myself as having two options here. I can push the 8 line or go up on top of the hill. I wouldn't push the 8 line if they had like all medium tanks, but since they have a decent amount of heavies, like 4, that I can face easily, I'm going to go down the 8 line so that I can just encounter them. If they had a ton of mediums, I'd be worried about not enough tanks going 8 line and me just running into nothing and then trying to flank them from up behind the hill, and that's just no fun. To be chasing your damage the whole game. But I'm hoping at least a few of their heavies go 8 line here. The reason I don't want to go 2 line is because if the fight is just won by your team on this side, you're not going to get much out of that game probably. You can shoot up at the hill a little bit, but you're just not going to run into many tanks over here because not as many enemies play here. What I'm going to do here is hide so that I don't get lit by this corner, and I'm just going to cross to here. I'm going to angle. I'm not going to bother shooting these guys. I just want them to bounce me. And thankfully I get both of them to fire. I have time to get a shot into this guy if I pen it. And thankfully I do. I'm going to get into cover here. And I will want to move up on the outside of the courtyard. This guy hopefully pokes me. Nice, we get a shot in. He can't pen me, so I'm not worried about him at all. I'm angling towards his T95 in case he tries to shoot me. The T95 just fired, so I'm going to quickly go for a shot. These guys are my priority to take down right now. And he just fired again, so I out-reload him, I think. Yeah, I do, so I can take him down potentially here. Fortunately, we miss. This STB can only see my turret if he pokes this right now, so I just need to angle that. We are losing the hill, which is something to keep in mind. So right there, what I did is I waited until his hull was pointed upwards, so I have a really easy shot on his lower plate. Now I'm going to keep pushing this just a little bit, but eventually I'm going to have to turn around because there's guys coming off the hill behind us. If I could kill this T95 before that happens, that would be great, because then I wouldn't be in a crossfire if they pushed up the 8 line. So that's what I'm going to try to work on right now. If he goes for a shot on me, I just need to over-angle. He's going for my side, so I'm over-angling my side. I'm not going to turn because I don't want to trade 750 for 500. And there we go. That was a perfect example of a situation where it's very hard to pen the mouse. As you can see, he bounced off my turret cheek. Which, you know, you don't see that too often in the mouse because people don't know how to play it. There I overexposed my side. That was my mistake. I was too far angled. I should have turned more before I came around that corner. I'm gonna turn for the people coming behind us here. I wish I had HE loaded right now, but I don't. It's fine though. Wow, that guy actually just hit that. That's crazy. I can't really afford to push either side, I don't think, but for now I'm just going to head back to here. I want to get my front turn towards them, but I don't want to get shot by this T100 behind either. So I'm almost safe from that, so we always have to keep in mind as well that the enemy might come from off of hill. One solution to this whole problem is just to get in the courtyard, because as long as they don't have out here, I can always just play safe in the courtyard. Right here, as I come around the corner, at the very last second I over-angle my lower hull so that he can't pen it. I don't want to do that again. That was kind of just a surprise for me. I don't want to poke a VZ yet. Ah, sucks I missed that. It's about time to just camp in the corner right here, because we're getting surrounded on 3 sides, which is not good. This VZ is the biggest problem because no one can really kill him. I'm gonna pretend I don't notice this guy, but I do notice this guy. Fortunately, he pens us the first shot in the lower plate. Probably didn't angle quite enough. I want to watch the standard B. Might actually go for a shot on him. Don't really want to take a shot for it if possible. Thankfully, he bounces. I do only have 1400 HP. So even though it's a good trade, 1-for-1 on the standard B, you gotta be careful. I can't push into this gap here because the other VZ has an angle on me. What I'm gonna do here is start to try to make my way back to this corner so that I can... I can't because this guy is pushing down. I don't have an easy shot on him, so I'm just gonna angle instead. Okay, he's on reload, so I have time to get around this corner now. Hopefully. He might actually reload in time. Okay, we managed to get around the corner in time. I already hits him, which is great. This guy needs to pen his next shot on me or else he might die. I'm getting flanked, so my team is just not covering me, bro. They just let me get flanked. That's so bad. Unfortunately, that guy penned both. I was gonna die regardless there, to be honest, because I'm just getting pushed from two sides by VZs, which if they get your side armor in the mouse, you're gonna take 1,000 damage, which hurts like fucking hell. Um, it was just kind of bad timing that this guy pushes this as soon as I decide to back out of here. I don't even think I was lit, so I don't think he knew I was doing that. But yeah, he got a free shot into me there, and then I didn't have time to kill this guy before he arrived behind me, so kind of bad timing for me. But we still got 5,500 damage, which again really just isn't even that good, to be honest. Uh, Especially in this kind of matchmaking. Although they didn't have very many heavy tanks and they weren't super farmable, and neither of their tier 9 heavies came to this corner, which really sucks. None of their heavies at all, actually. But when the engagement was super controlled, like against the T95s, I think I only took like one hit. No, I actually took two. I lied. But we traded super well. I think we got like 2.5k or 3k damage, and then they only got 1,500. Even when we were kind of getting surrounded, we managed to bounce the VZ when we were completely in the open here because we angled well. There were some other bounces, I don't remember all of them, but still only 3k blocked though. I think I said this one would be the last one, but I changed my mind. I really just want a good game in the mouse, like an actual good game. I don't feel like I've had a single one in either of my live commentary sessions with a mouse. I just haven't had a game where I can like really just full on display what it's actually good at. Like there's been small glimpses and moments, but no situations where this tank is actually just straight up the best tank for that situation. Like I could have done a decent amount of this in like a 279 or something. Oh, come on. Why? Why am I getting this map? Especially in this fucking matchmaking. Jesus, this is terrible. Okay, so for anyone's information, if I were playing the mouse seriously, this is probably one of the maps I would actually ban, because there's like nowhere that you can actually go. Like if you go north, it's gonna take forever. If they get middle early, you get shot coming down here, and then pushing out of here, you gotta push across an open field. Like the mouse, when there's two artillery, it's like impossible to actually push out of here. This map is so bad. Looking at their lineup though, the only thing that can actually play hull down here is a STB. Against me, I mean, is like an STB and a 60 TP. They have like mice and Type 5 heavies. And if worse comes to worse, I'm just gonna go middle and hope that my artillery bleeds them more than they bleed me. That's basically my plan. And if they let me, I will take the middle. Like if they have nothing here, I will take the middle. And it's possible that that happens because they don't have very many tanks that should go there, but you never know. Some people just go to random spots. As you can see, a platoon with both Yari, that's just to make it so that they're more likely to shoot the things that I light. It's going to be really, really hard this game to take the middle, especially now that they already have it with a full health TVP, so it's probably not going to happen, but for now I'm just going to peek here and see what I can see. I'm hoping to see some super heavies who are angling well. I actually see nothing at all. STB is close though. If I push this right now, not only do I get shot by all these tier 10 TDs, but I also could get farmed by the STB, and then I have to deal with a TVP as I go up, so it's really not easy at all. If I see both arties fire, then I might push up a little bit just to see what happens, but... Nah, I can't even do that. And one of their arties is out there. That makes the situation even worse, because I can't even use this corner as artie cover. I think I might have a plan though. So their mice haven't been spotted yet, neither has their 50B. That makes me think their 50B is playing passive. There's their mouse. I think I want to push up to here. I've never done this before, but I saw another player do it, and I think it might be okay. I think the advantage to doing this is I think I'm actually going to be mostly already safe. And I'm hoping my team will be able to somehow win this. And then I'll be able to get side shots. Now most likely my team is not going to win this. It's just going to be a stalemate for a long time, but it's going to be a stalemate down here as well, so it might not be a big deal. If this TVP really wanted to, he could probably just poke me and shoot me 4 times. Let me see if I have an angle from here. That would be really nice. Oh, what? He was blending in. I didn't even see him. His camo was blending in with the environment. Okay, they have an STB there. I want to bait him, kind of. Okay, he's not going to poke that because I have a teammate right there. So instead I'm going to shoot the mouse. Our 62A could actually kill this guy, but I think it's unlikely. I'm just going to go for damage on these guys. I want this Type 5 to back up before I shoot if possible, so that I don't have to take a risky shot. But he's not moving, and so I miss instead. What I can actually do here is back up against the hill to give me a little bit better shot. Our 62A just randomly decided to back off after a few seconds. I'm going to over angle so that he pokes. Let me track him. That's another tip in the mouse. If you want to bait someone into poking, you can over angle your side. Make them think that you're a free target, and then shoot them real quick. Oh, come on. How does that fucking bounce? That's like 95%, bro. Okay, I'm getting sniped by a Leo now. I can actually kind of figure out where he is potentially, based on the damage indicator, but I still want to angle towards him because this game isn't like free yet. Okay, he's right there. Hopefully that hit, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna look for a side shot on this guy instead if possible. I think I can out chase this guy because he's very far away, even though he has great reverse speed. This game is fucking trolling me, bro. I'm gonna go mostly side on here to try to get an angle. Never mind, there's a dip. And the game is over once again. How did we win this game? How did we win the South? The world may never know. Ah, I bounced his cupola. Very typical of this game. Ah, I'm on fire. Ah, I'm tracked. I love World of Tanks. I'm gonna angle towards the Leo and not towards the STB because he is my lower plate anyway. At least we hit that shot. We might have blinded him before. Okay, I'm gonna blind or angle towards the STB because he reloads first before the Leo, and the Leo's not poking. I really would like to hit this Leo. Okay, he is poking, which I kind of thought he was, but I wasn't sure. I'm gonna shoot him as soon as he shoots me. Alright, he got lit, so it didn't matter. Sometimes when you're waiting for a blind shot, you can just wait. If you don't know whether they're poking or not, you can just wait until they shoot you and then immediately fire because you know they're poking if they're shooting you. Alright, another terrible game. But I don't actually think I did anything really super wrong in this game. I think I played it fine. We just somehow didn't have any map control at all. And then we won 15-4. And I didn't really have any chance to do any damage. Because where am I supposed to push? I guess if I went all the way north, I might have had a better game. But how am I supposed to know that all of their super heavies are going to go north and none of them middle? Because the thing is, once you commit into the north, there's no going back. You're gonna have to push across an open field, and if they have the mid, then you're screwed. So when something as slow as a mouse, I don't really like to do it. We still got a steel wall though. I got to showcase some angling tips and whatnot, some tips to bait your opponents into poking, stuff like that. Blind fire trick. Alright, I have to end the episode even though I really want to get a great game. But, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm doing another one. I have to get this, man. It's been an hour, over an hour long episode. I used to do over an hour long episodes, so why the fuck not now? Let me just do another one. Why not? Let's just play like 12 more games. It can be a whole session instead of just like 4 battles. I haven't gotten a single game where I can just actually just farm people. The closest I got to it was farming those T95s on Himmels. But, you know, only farming most of 2 tanks isn't gonna get you like 6 or 7k damage. You have to actually be full farming, and this is more terrible matchmaking. Yeah, this is terrible because this map is all about playing hull down if you want to play in here or here. The mouse, it's one of the things that it's not very good at. And to make it worse, I can't actually pen them back because they're like IS-7, E100's kind of hard to pin, BZ's hard to pin, AMX M4 you have to hit their cupola, VZ's you have to hit their cupola. It's just not great, and if I turn to fire at them, they're going to hit me, and they have an RD. And there's not really many other easy options, but instead of fighting hull down here, what I'm going to do is come out to the outside here. Don't get me wrong, there's still potential for this game to be good. Just because matchmaking gives you a shit head start or whatever, you don't really get a head start that game due to matchmaking. You can still come out with a good game if things just happen to go your way, like if the enemies just happen to play bad and let you farm them. It's just more rare for that to happen in tier 10 than a lower tier because tier 10 the players are a little bit better and it's more, there's less forgiveness for mistakes at tier 10, and enemies don't just give you free shit all the time. At tier 8 and tier 9 it's like you can't even, they're making so much, it's like a race to see who can farm the dumb shit the fastest. It's not really trying to make plays happen or something, you just kind of drive into them and whoever can farm them the fastest has the highest DPG sometimes. That's probably an over exaggeration by a lot, but it's definitely more like that. Now I'm gonna do the V crossing here like I told you about instead of driving sideways. I'm going to take a blind shot on the way over though because as you can see the tree is down there and that position is also very common for TDs. The fact I didn't get lit suggests that they're probably not poking that, but you never know. Could be a Sturv with a terrible crew or something, so it's worth taking that blind shot. I don't want to poke that because he can probably see my side turret. This guy has 3 marks. I don't really want to get in his way. I mean, even if he didn't have 3 marks, I don't really want to get in his way. But if he lets me pass, I'm going to take this corner and start trading with the enemies. I'm actually going to cross. He might cross first, though. I see a VZ over here who I can potentially hit, and a bad chat. Oh, come on. I don't actually want to get shot by them though, so gotta be careful. I'm gonna over angle my turret to the AMX. I can't commit into there because I'm worried the bad chat's gonna shoot me in the side, and I don't feel confident yet enough to push up to that corner. Thankfully I can tell this VZ player is not very good, and that's kind of what I was talking about. If enemies just are not very good, they can give you free damage. I really want to save this guy, but there's no way I'm going to get there in time, so there's no real point. The only thing I can really do is try to make it so that he takes 1,000 damage as they come in. I'm not gonna push forward just to help him, even though I want to help him, but this guy's gonna poke now. If he pokes, that tells me he's a decent player. I'm gonna over angle, make it hard for him to pen me. Our S-Conk is actually shooting him, so. Okay, there's a fucking feather in my nose, it's kind of annoying. I aimed that bad. I was not prepared, bro. I got a feather in my nose, bro. I'm sure the S-Conk is mad at me, but I don't think he should be able to blame me for not pushing up into a bad position just to try to save him. What I really want to happen is for their bad chat and VZ to die out here so that I can actually push up safely. I'm worried about getting shot on the side, but I want to go for a shot on this Leo. I'm lit, I think. So I'm going to angle towards these guys. Speed 4 can't pen me. I'm going to turn towards him. I'm going to go for a tracking shot in case he doesn't repair. I get a load of tracking for that. I'm going to pull back to try to spot him if he's still there. I think he left, but I'm going to blind shoot it anyways. Oh, I bounced. Tried to angle my turret at the last second, but it didn't work. And I take 1200 damage because this fucking shitter decides to poke me for no reason. Unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna try to kill this Leo. I actually went for a blind on the bad check because I thought he was behind the Leo. I think I can kill this Leo still because I don't think he knows I have a shot on him, so that's why I did that, for the greater amount of damage. Yeah, I just hit the bad chat, unless I tracked the Leo for 0. This game is ending, so I'm only going to take one more blind shot here, I think, and then go. I can't tell if they hit the bat. I think it hit the Leo, though. I'm going to start pushing in. I'm going to try to bounce this guy, but he's a decent player, I can tell, so it's not easy. Okay, there's a Sturv out there. I cannot do shit against that. This is like the worst fucking shit ever. Why is there a Sturv there? I'm unlucky, man. Fucking hell. Okay, now I have to play like a bitch the whole game. I'm gonna try to get unlit and then I'm gonna blind shot their bet. Nice, at least we got him. I think we blinded him as well, I think. At least we're pushing out the Sturv. I'm actually gonna go under like this, I think, and try to help our EBR. Cause I can't play against this guy because he's a good enough player where he can just pen the mouse pretty easily. If I make any mistake at all. But the problem is I'm only 700 HP now, so it's hard to actually do stuff. Like, I can't get too close to them, even though I have pretty good armor. They're good players. The 2684 has like 350 penetration, so he can pen me basically anywhere as well. Look at this pen. Seems legit. He penned me there twice, by the way. That is so cool. This EBR could probably just YOLO this guy, but he's not. The Sturv I'm talking about. But if the Sturv has a camo net, maybe he can't, or if he's in some really weird bush, but their Amex is dead, so I can push up. I figured he'd be distracted and I might be able to catch him, and plus the game is over, so I have to make some risky plays here. to try to get some more damage. But there's no risks more to be taken. I just have to get there as quickly as possible. Hopefully he doesn't die before I get there. That guy just crashed. Interesting strategy. Ah yes, artillery pens him for 1,000 damage. We got one shot into him at least. I'm gonna angle my turret so he can't pen my turret easily. I didn't go around the corner enough, so he managed to hit my corner turret. As you can see. Thought I was further around the corner, but he just had the very corner here, I think. Or he penned my upper plate, that's also possible, or through here, but it's hard to pen through that. That's another thing about the mouse and the E100. If you're below them and they're coming over a ridge, you can shoot up in beneath their tracks and shoot up into their hull and penetrate them if you're shooting them straight on. From an angle like this, it's much harder, but straight on, it's actually very easy to do that. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, but now I actually am gonna be done. Or am I? I just don't feel like I'm getting super lucky with my matchmaking this session or last session. I'm not finding many farming situations. I did hit a blind shot, probably on their bad chat. Yeah. I mean, this was still a good game. I blocked 3.5k despite playing in the open against like 2 tanks half the time. I was playing against this guy who, let me check. He's decent. He's not that good. But it seemed like he knew how to pen me. It's the biggest thing. And he was holding his shots. He wasn't just slinging shots at me. He knew that he can just hold his shot and wait for a good angle. And that's one thing that the mouse kind of relies on, which the 279E doesn't as much. And the mouse, eventually, if you have to turn directions, they're gonna get a flat angle on you. And even if they don't have a flat angle, if they aim for a long time, they can pen the side of your gun mantlet, which is a lesser known weak spot of the mouse. So there really isn't no great situation where you're just invincible unless it's against something with less than 320 pen. But especially against people who just spam their shots off without thinking and just take the best opportunity shot they have at the very moment instead of waiting for a better one. Against those kind of players, it works great. Okay, now we got tier 8 and there are like 10 tier 8 tanks and only 2 tier 10 heavies. This is ridiculous matchmaking. Unfortunately, they don't have too many heavies that are tier 8, but still it's pretty good. I'm going to play this battle extremely aggressively for that reason. I can angle in the open against a lot of these tanks and usually get away with it. The arty is kind of annoying, especially because he fires relatively fast. I'm thinking about actually taking a little bit longer of a route so that this TD perch up here doesn't have a good shot on me. Because if I go straight across and the ELC 90 goes there and I get lit, this TD perch right up here can actually hit me. So I'm just going to try to stay out of spotting range of this for a while at least, until I get a little bit closer. Although my team is kind of cock blocking me a little bit. And I'm going to take a blind at this while I'm at it. We miss. That's fine though. I don't want to stop for too long to mess around with blind shots or whatever. I just got to get in there because if you notice, there's already 7 tanks lit, so that means I really don't have too much to farm over here. I've got max 7 tanks because you have to count the arty in that equation as well. 7 tanks when I have a bunch of tanks here. It's going to be hard to get like 5k out of that, especially because this guy is kind of suiciding for no reason. So probably what I'm going to do is just drive straight through the open. I'm going to try to take a wide angle here, something I've mentioned several times in this video. It just makes it so that I can angle better towards like this rock, for example, instead of going sideways in front of it, or having to do a V, a wiggle maneuver to cross it. Yeah, I'm literally just gonna drive in. There's no reason not to. So many of them are already lit. There's like nothing over here. I don't really care if I get free farmed by too many tanks. I can bounce most of them anyways. I'm just gonna drive in the open. I'm not even gonna stop for that guy. I want all my teammates to be stuck on the E100 and take like 2 minutes to kill him. It's just not worth turning for. I just can't get a good game, bro. Like, we're just fucking steamrolling him, man. And my shots are missing, so I can't even do shit. It's so sad, man. I just want a game where I hold against like 5 tier 8s or some shit. But I just can't get that. This RU is probably gonna die before I can even shoot him, almost. I can't even shoot him anyways. I just need to angle towards this SU and BZ right now. They're the biggest threats. That's where most of the damage is coming from. BZ is gonna have a real problem trying to pen me. And I can actually shoot him back. The BZ has practically no chance of penning me. I'm gonna try to bounce this SU, and once the SU fires, then I'm gonna shoot the Skoda, or try to bounce the Skoda. Unfortunately, the SU is just holding his shot. He finally fires. If he fired instantly, then I could have angled towards the Skoda, but because of that, I just wasn't able to. That was a bad shot. I'm gonna start backing up, because I am getting a little bit low HP, and I don't really know what my teammates are doing right now. Yeah, this is kind of bad. This SU knows how to pen me. I need to angle primarily towards him. I really want to kill his Skoda so I can just only focus towards the SU, but it's kind of hard. It's just penning me over and over. And my team still has done nothing here. You know, I kind of figured that my team would just win this and then be behind me shooting these guys the whole time, but what happened instead is my team did nothing. One of them drowned, this guy died, this guy also died, and then 2 of them just didn't do anything. And this guy has the exact same amount of HP that he had when he was facing 5 fucking goddamn tanks. And the thing is, every single tank over here was shooting me. I have 6,000 blocked. Why did it not just go over? It's fucking 6 versus 1, bro. 6 versus 1. And you don't push it? That's just a player skill issue. I don't think what I did was wrong at all. I think my team is just fucking dog shit, to be honest. I think I would have made that play over and over again if I had to do that again. There was nothing wrong with it. You saw how long it took me to die completely in the open. It was probably like 3 minutes, or like 2.5 to 3 minutes of just sitting in front of 4 tanks, blocking 6k, but the SU bounced me a couple times at the start of the fight, I think, so it made me think that he wasn't that great. He bounced me like 3 times or something. But then he started panning me, and I realized that he was probably the biggest threat. But angling between the SU and the Skoda when they know how to aim is not easy, especially when I'm kind of they can pen my lower plate at this vertical angle pretty easily. If the ground was pointed a little bit more down, then it would be a lot easier, I think. Then they could potentially pin my upper plate, but it would be much harder than like this kind of angle. And that's the thing, when I give a really good angle to one tank, like the SU for example, the Skoda now has an angle like this, so if he hits his shots and he aims correctly, he will pen most of the shots. Unless RNG fucks him over, so. And of course I miss like 3 shots too, but whatever. one of those was my own fault, the one against the Skoda. Let's see what I actually took my damage from. This guy penned me with APCR. That is extremely lucky, by the way. Unless he shot me exactly when I lurched backwards and my lower plate raised up. That is incredibly lucky. I think it has 236 or 248 standard pen. You cannot pen a mouse even from like a slight angle with that amount of penetration unless you get a huge high roll of pen. So I think he got really lucky with that, but I just really want my voice is fucking killing me, man. I just really want a game that like goes as a game that is like it was when I was marking this tank. Like when I was marking this tank, I had like 4,700 average, 4,600 average damage. It was great. I was getting 3.5k average blocked. It was just fantastic. But now I'm getting pretty scuffed games, pretty bad matchmaking in bad situations. Yeah, their E100 did 4k, blocked 3,400. My teammates utterly failed at trying to push him, doing 0 damage to him 1 versus 6, while no other enemies could support them. It's pretty sad. Alright, we get Tundra, tier 10, 2 arty. They have a lot of fast heavies, no slow heavies. They have 6 fast heavies. And then they have 4 relatively fast mediums. So their whole team is really fast. Then they have a Badger and a 4k5 and 2 arty. Looking at the matchup, we have a CS, so we could win the hill. I'm kind of torn about going one line or hill right now. But since they have so many fast tanks, I'm thinking I'll just go hill because I don't know if I'll meet anything over here. And sometimes even when I do meet them, if they're decent players, like this 260 and 277, they'll just be able to pen you from such a short range anyways. So I'm going to go up the hill. If I see that my team just wins a hill instantly, then I'll probably cut in and try to do something like this or like this. But what I'm hoping will happen is we either lose the hill or it's just a contested. It's like a stalemate, so that I can push in and start working. Because if we win the hill hard, then it's not good for me. Looks like we're losing the hill. I don't want to lose it by too much, because that wouldn't be great either, but one thing to keep in mind, there's 2 arties, so if I play out here, I am going to get shot by arty, because arty doesn't have shots on too many things on this map, so that's just the default position to get artied. But I still am going to go a little bit wide. I want to play passive here, because they can all pen my turret pretty easily with heat. Hull down is not really where the mouse, especially against tier 10s with great penetration, where it really shines. And I don't think there's going to be much that I can do here. I'm really wishing I went 1-2. But I didn't think we would lose it this hard. I thought I might at least be able to contest it and come out here, but I really can't do anything at all because they have heavies already here, which I cannot deal with. In fact, it's so bad that I might rotate out of here. It's going to be extremely difficult though, so I don't think I'm going to get all the way out. But I'm just not going to bother poking this corner because there's really no point at all. I'm never going to pen a hold down IS-7 anyways, so. The problem is the 2 arties combined with the fact they have the hill make it almost impossible to get out of here. So I'm kind of just going in circles hoping something happens. I'm looking at what's spotted and what's not. They have a Rhino unlit and a 4k5, so they don't have anything to really take up here or come over here for the most part. So this should just be a one-line fight. Oh, they do have someone to come there. There's the Udez. Hopefully our Progetto sees that, because he needs to die. Okay, there, he just took a ton of damage. As long as they can hold over here and we can hold over here, it's fine. But if we start losing the one line, that means that I'm on a timer, because we're eventually going to get flanked. So the fact that I want to try to do something, because I don't really know what else I can do, to be honest. Except just try to fight these guys here. If the enemies push up too far, like this I-7 is, I might be able to just push them at least a little ways. I don't know how good of a player he is. It's the unfortunate part. I need my team to grow a pair of fucking balls and push to his right, bro. It's not that goddamn hard. Holy shit. Finally. There's just 260 behind me. Yeah, this I-7 overextended, so we can probably kill him, hopefully. I'm gonna go for a shot on the 277 instead. And I missed completely because RNG fucking hates my fucking life. Now I'm gonna repush the hill because we have enough teammates here to do that, and I still have plenty of HP. Taking the hill would be a big bonus here, and I can get some damage from it as well. Although it's not exactly easy, so might have to halt on it. Although the Leo just took a ton of damage, so now it's not a big deal to take it. But I see this 260 coming behind. I really want to farm him for that. That's a mistake by him. Here comes the Artie, because Artie is fucking stupid. Now he out-reloads me by a ton. I'm gonna save my teammate, because I'm a good person. Yeah, I'm losing way more HP than I need to here because of this. At least we kill him before he reloads. The 277 left the hill and is now playing the base of it. If you look at what's spotted and what's not spotted, only the 4K5 is unlit. The only thing that really makes me not want to push this is the Artie. Like, that's literally it. It's just so annoying. But I think what I'm going to do here is poke wide, load HE, and look for an angle to spot the 4K5. Because he has no camo at all, and if I can avoid getting lit by the 277 but spot the 4K5, then that's good. Don't see him. He could be behind that tiny tree. I think I'm gonna cross up here. Alright, trading 1 for 1 is good. Because I have enough HP to do that, and I want to kill this guy so that I don't have to worry about him anymore. Thankfully that hit. I thought he wouldn't be very safe there, but I guess he kind of almost was. He could have gotten safe. I tried to turn my turret at the last second, I think, to bounce a shot, but it's with 340 heat pen, it's not going to be easy to bounce him at all. I want to be careful of the 4K5, but I also still am really tempted to poke this in case the Udez backs up, or I get an angle on the EBR. There's a Badger. Artie can hit me is the problem, so I'm gonna get safe from Artie. At least try to. So their Badger, I think, is right there. This angle right here can shoot up at the hill. The problem is this 4K5. I can't really poke off of here while the 4K5 is not lit. I don't know where he is, because I think I would be spotting him if he were there. So I'm thinking that he might have left, which really makes me want to poke, but if he's just hiding behind the corner, it's really bad for me. There's a Badger, as I said. I think we're winning this game, so I'm going to take a risk and poke this Rhino. And the 4K5 is unlit back there. I'm gonna over angle my lower plate. He aims for it and misses. I got hit by an EBR over there. I'm still alive, but I gotta stay already safe. The 4K5 isn't gonna be loaded yet, so I can still hide here. 4K5 shouldn't be lighting me. Where the fuck is he, man? He's gotta be on top of this shit. This is risky, but fuck this guy. I wanna do it. Or try it. Try to kill him. Shoot him. The Rhino could be coming down to come face me here. That's something I've got to keep an eye on. But I don't think I can poke this until their arty is dead, to be honest. The arty will just hit me. So instead what I'm going to do is poke her on this corner and hope to find a 4K5 or the Rhino. This guy doesn't have much HP though. I really want to hit the 4K5 instead. I'm just gonna back up and hope that the 4K5 crosses or something, but knowing 4K5 players who sit back there, he's not gonna do anything at all. I don't know if that was a Rhino or the 4K who just lit me. I'm guessing the Rhino. Yeah, it was the Rhino. Yeah, look at where this 4K is. I can't get a good game for you guys. I'm sorry, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's just the games are not good. Look at this shit. Fucking 2 tanks that I can't pen hold down, like 340 Alpha or 340 pen, 4K5, double arty, Tundra. It's just pretty fucking garbage. Tundra would be good if it was like tier 8 so I could push across the bridge, but besides that it's not a good map for the mouse. Unless you're against lower tiers, because you have to play hull down over here, which doesn't work against tier 10s very easily. And since there's 2 arty, I can't go over there anyways without risking having my entire game ruined by them. It's just not a good situation for the mouse. The mouse does not do good with uncertain situations. For example, situations where you don't, like there's a chance that no enemies just show up at the spot you're planning to go to. It's almost always better to go the safer way, because you can't flex back there because you're in a mouse. Once your initial choice of where to go is everything in the mouse, really. It's very important. I got a steel wall, 3,300 damage. We did some good in this game over angling of our lower plate against the Rhino in the IS-7. And just keep in mind, if your lower plate is angled downwards like this, then you don't have to angle it to the side as much. If your lower plate is angled upwards, then you have to angle it even more, because it's an easier pen. And so against that hull down IS-7 who is on the tank wreck, since he had a good shot, good angle on my lower plate, he was shooting up at my lower plate. I had to angle something like this. But this is a really strong angle for the IS-7. He can still pen this, but it's not an easy pen. You could even angle a little bit more like this, and this is probably the ideal angle, but he can pen through this if he knows how to. It's been 10 battles, boys. I can't make it work. Do I do another? It's been an hour and 40 minutes. I might just split this. Nah, I gotta end the episode. I'm doing another one in the mouse right after though. Okay? I swear, I will do 3 in a row if I have to get it, just to get a good game. Probably. I mean, maybe it'll be something else. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.